Good morning, all. It is Monday, just after 10 a.m. here in Omaha, Nebraska. I've already had two teams meetings, took a nice 20-minute walk this morning, had my morning coffee, and since I competed at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals last Friday, people have been asking me, which they often do, what are your goals going forward? It's a great question, something I've been thinking about these past 10 days. And I would say my immediate or short-term goals would be to get back into the gym and get back to training. I did go in once last Tuesday just to get a little bit of light movement in. It was a bit of a hectic week, so that was the only day I went into the gym last week. And honestly, at my age, I think taking a full week off is beneficial to me, both physically and mentally. So immediate short-term goals starting this afternoon is get back into the gym and get back to training. I do plan on keeping the same competition schedule or cadence that I'm on. That would be, my next competition then would be January at Nebraska State's, which is a qualifying meet for Raw Nationals. Again, I'm assuming it's going to be the end of June. I think it's in the suburbs of Chicago next year, so looking forward to that. I don't think I need to compete any more than that. I think, I'll be 51 on Friday. And just, I think that would be, anything more than twice a year for me, I don't think my body would probably be able to hold up. So I think I have a nice break in between competitions to kind of rest and recover, which is kind of good right now. I don't, January puts me right about six months out. I don't have to jump right into a competition prep right now. So I can kind of focus just on, getting stronger for January. As far as individual numbers and individual lifts go, I think my goals for squat right now, after hitting, I hit 187.5 kilos at Raw Nationals, which is 413 pounds. Goal going forward, I think for the next meet would be a 200 kilogram squat, which is about 440 pounds. And I think if you would ask me that a couple of years ago, or even last year, I probably would have said you were crazy that I could hit 200 kilos on squat. But just based on how that moved, on how 413 pounds moved at the competition on the 27th, I probably had that in me that day, even with with my right knee not being 100%. I think for me, that has to be the goal. Like I would honestly be a little bit disappointed in myself if I didn't hit 200 kilos at my next meet in January, definitely by Raw Nationals next year. As far as the bench goes, man, that is definitely the biggest struggle, and it probably doesn't sound like it for most of you guys, but I think it is by far like the most technical lift out there. There's just so much going on with like your setup and leg drive and maintaining tension and pausing and all that stuff. So my main goal and focus is really technique based for the bench. I need to maintain tension throughout the lift. And kind of what I mean by that for those of you who aren't powerlifters is, you want to use your legs, really get a nice setup, really tight, maintain tension throughout the lift. And I'm losing it at about 3/4 of the way down. Like I'm pretty tight, and then I'm just kind of relaxing at the bottom and then have to muscle it back up. So my focus going forward is maintaining tension in the bench, cleaning up my form, and then hopefully that'll translate to pounds on the bar. Hit 110 at the competition last Friday, 110 kilos. I've hit 250 pounds in the gym. I don't see why, if I can clean up my technique, be a lot more consistent with that, I don't see why I wouldn't be able to hit close to 120 kilos. At least by next year, by next year Raw Nats, maybe not by states, but that would be my goal going forward, cleaning my technique, and then, really make a run at 120 kilos on bench. Bench is dumb anyway. And then deadlift, which, deadlift has been kind of steadily improving. So I went 202.5 kilos, 445 pounds at Nebraska State's in January. And if you guys remember that, I posted a video recently, or if you watched the recap of States for me, that was an all out grinder, definitely RPE 10. There were no more kilos on the bar. that I could have added. That was the max right there. And then last Friday at Raw Nationals, went 210 kilos, 462 pounds, and that moved really smooth. I mean, didn't get any of those leg shakes that you see, if you hit a max deadlift, or if you watch it, you see a lot of people start shaking that when they reach maximal load. And I didn't have any of that at States, and it moved very smooth. It did. I did have a almost, grip, almost right at the top, right when I got the down command, which I've never had before. I don't think that'll be an issue going forward. So the way 462 moved, I think strength-wise, I probably had another 10 pounds in me that day, so right around 470, 475 maybe. So going forward, I would like to, by next year's Raw Nationals, I don't think there's a reason why I would not be able to make a run at 500-pound deadlift. I think I could probably split the difference at States and then really make a run at 500, which would be amazing for me. That would be like a lifetime goal of hitting 500-pound deadlift. So, and another goal of mine is going into Raw Nationals back on the 27th. In my head, honestly, I was a little bit worried that I was going to kind of be outclassed by the competition, just because it was my first time at Nationals. Definitely a step up in competition. And then also that was I'm fairly new to the 90 kilo weight class, which 198 pounds for in freedom units, which my first time competing at 90 kilos was back in January at Nebraska States, and normally I compete at 82.5 kilos, and that's usually what I walk around at weight wise. So I'm a very light, 90 kilo lifter. I think at the meet in Atlanta recently, that weigh-in morning, 2 hours before the meet, I was right at 85 kilos. So I have I could technically add another 5 kilos, to my weight. I don't know if I want to do that as far as just like body composition wise, and I'm not fully disgusted with the way I look right now. So I'll probably continue eating in a surplus like I have, which I honestly think, combined obviously with training consistently and adding body weight has definitely helped my numbers go up for sure. And with all that being said, if I continue to do that, continue to get stronger, I don't see why there's a chance where I could not compete for a top 5 finish next year. Looking at the results in Atlanta, I wasn't really that far off. I think if I would have hit my top end squat, I would have been a lot more competitive, and I probably could have made a run maybe at top 5. But I think that has to be my goal next year, is to get into the top 5 at Raw Nationals. We'll see how it goes. That starts today with training. So I appreciate all the support and all the love you guys gave me at Raw Nationals and just on social media. So like I said, I appreciate it, and it's back to training today.